Welcome back, Honestman, Skyrim, Survival. Here with Daenerys Targaryen. We have a little bit of housekeeping right off the bat. I was so focused on training archery last episode that I completely forgot about Sunhelm. So indeed, Sunhelm is now enabled, so we are officially in survival mode. I'll also note here that I have removed the restriction on fast travel. Without belaboring the point too much, that's just way too tedious for a game that clearly was designed with fast travel in mind. So definitely want to be able to fast travel. In addition, the custom character modeler that I used, the way they chose to implement that was through actually creating a new race. And this is a little bit problematic because Sunhelm does not honor those custom races, which means that I'm not getting the appropriate race bonus for survival mode. High elves are supposed to have 25% resistance to fatigue. I'm not getting that, so in order to compensate, I've dialed down the exhaustion scaling to 7 out of 10, just to try to simulate that 25% fatigue resistance that I'm supposed to have. Last but not least, I have the survival control panel here, and I have removed the restriction on leveling up. There's a default restriction where you have to be sleeping, you have to use a bed in order to level up. That just seemed a little tedious. It'll be less relevant as we go on, but I do have that currently disabled. So with that out of the way, let's get back on the move here. I still have our little elf friend here with us, Faendal. And I guess one of the things I should note with survival, right, is it dramatically reduces your carry weight. So I'm currently at the 175 total pounds, even after having pushed a bunch of stamina. So I'm probably going to utilize companions a little more in this playthrough, just to help me carry stuff, if nothing else. But he's acquitted himself pretty well so far, especially in the early game. I think it's an asset to have him along. Yeah, we are inbound on Whiterun here. We're going to run into the companions, I expect, in this farmstead. We're going to try to get a target here. There's our giant. Let's see if we can help with this fight before he dies. Got him.
Good enough. You look strong.
You handle yourself well. You could make for a decent shield sister.
What's a shield sister?
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the Companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor. And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
Alright, well, I'll definitely be your shield sister. Can I join?
Not for me to say. You'll have to talk to Kodlak Whitemane up in Jorvaskar. The old man's got a good sense for people. He can look in your eyes and tell your worth. If you go to him, good luck.
Getting tired of hanging around talking all day.
Alright, next stop is Whiterun.
Say Helgen got hit by a dragon. What brings you to the market?
I'm here to buy food, Nazim. I suppose you don't need to worry about that.
Owning a farm does have its advantages.
Alright, it's good to be back in Whiterun, but we are going to stay on task, certainly. We need to talk to the Jarl, and we also need to talk to the companions.
Riggins I can handle. So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes?
Indeed, the dragon destroyed Helgen, and last I saw it was headed this way.
By Ysmir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains,
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
You're his steward. He'll listen to you.
Leave me out of your intrigues, Hrongar. If you have something to say to the Jarl, say it with your own tongue.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use to me. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. I learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Dragons.
Okay, there we go. As expected, he's just going to send us over to Bleak Falls Barrow, which is, we started heading there last episode. It didn't quite get there, but we need to go retrieve the dragon stone. But not just yet. Next, we need to talk to the companions.
It's too late.
Of course, y'all.
Oh, got more to say?
But I still hear the call of the blood.
A stranger comes to our hall.
Yeah, I want to join the companions.
Would you now? Here, let me have a look at you. Yes, perhaps. A certain strength of spirit.
Master, you're not truly considering accepting her.
I am nobody's master, Vilkas. And last I checked, we had some empty beds in Jorvaskr for those with a fire burning in their hearts.
Apologies. But perhaps this isn't the time. I've never even heard of this outsider.
Sometimes the famous come to us. Sometimes men and women come to us to seek their fame. It makes no difference. What matters is their heart.
And their arm.
Of course. How are you in battle, girl?
How dare you?
Calm down there, whelp. Don't feel like you need to show off for our sake. Vilkas here will be the one testing your mettle. Vilkas, take her out to the yard and see what she can do.
Aye. Not that. Next time won't be so easy. You might just make it. But for now, you're still a whelp to us, new blood. So you do what we tell you. Here's my sword. Go take it up to Yorland to have it sharpened. And be careful. It's probably worth more than you are.
What brings you here?
Vilkas wants you to sharpen his sword.
I'm guessing you're the newcomer then.
I'm just doing what I'm asked.
That attitude would get you far, if you were some stuffy merchant or a Jarl's footstool. Around here, you'll want to learn to live your own life. Remember, nobody rules anybody in the Companions. I have a favor to ask.
Of course you do. What is it?
I've been working on a shield for Aela. My wife is in mourning, and I need to get back to her soon. I'd be much obliged if you could take this to Aela for me.
Absolutely.
Well done.
I'm going to carve the name Daenerys Targaryen on the back of it.
If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be quick and your eyes quicker.
Haven't seen your face before. I'm watching you.
What are you doing with this stiff?
Ysgramor, I'm waiting.
I've got your shield.
Ah, good. I've been waiting for this. Good to see you made it up here.
You know this one? I saw her training in the yard with Vilkis.
Ah, yes. I heard you gave him quite a thrashing.
Don't let Vilkis catch you saying that.
Do you think you could handle Vilkis in a real fight?
No one could stand against a Targaryen. But I don't care for boasting.
Ha! A woman who lets her actions speak for her. I knew there was something I liked about you. Here, let's have Farkas show you where you'll be resting your head.
What kind of Farkas do you prefer? I like the smaller, quicker. You call me?
Of course we did, Icebrain. Show this new blood where the rest of the whelp sleep.
New blood? Oh, I remember you. Come on, follow me. The quarters are up here. Just pick a bed and fall in it when you're tired. Telma will keep the place clean. She always has. Alright, so here you are. Looks like the others are eager to meet you. Come to me or Ayala if you're looking for work. Once you've made a bit of a name for yourself, Skjor and Vilkis might have things for you to do. Good luck. Welcome to the Companions.
Okay, now that we are officially in the Companions, that confers certain benefits. First and foremost, this guy here, Yorland,
Got a lot of steel to shape.
should offer to train us in smithing.
It's an honorable craft. I'll show you what I can.
Which I'm going to do. Now, I do have the money. I can just buy it all straight out, I believe. I just want to note the thought process here first, quickly. Training should certainly prioritize skills that are the most difficult to train. So, that seems pretty straightforward. And I would say, unambiguously, that the most difficult skills to train are the combat skills. So, two-handed, one-handed, archery, in particular. But also, I would kind of say maybe light armor and heavy armor. Now, we really don't care about heavy armor or two-handed. Not really. One-handed and archery are really the priorities. So it's tempted to get some one-handed training from one of the other companions right now. But I think smithing. I'd rather go smithing right now. Because it's super low. And it's also really important, and it's also really hard to frickin' level. Now, obviously that changes in the late game. Like, the crafting skills at a certain point actually become extremely easy to level. But we're a long way from that point, and we want smithing along the way to getting to that point. So I would definitely classify smithing as a difficult skill to level for that reason. Like, that first trip to 100 is everything. Subsequent trips to 100 after you legendary, like, I don't care about that. That's not the point right now. The point is to try to get to maximum strength as quick as we can. So therefore, I think trying to push smithing as much as we can is going to be to our benefit. So that's why I'm prioritizing smithing after archery here. Now, before I get this training, I am going to want to try to steal my money back with pickpocket. But my pickpocketing is not high enough yet for that to be viable. So we're going to take a spin around town and see if we can't rectify that and somehow be able to steal back our gold here. Okay, so we managed to get our pickpocket up to 20. And we also gave the beggar a gold to buff our speech. In addition to an amulet of Dibella that we managed to steal off a guard. That brings us to a pretty respectable speech skill at this point in the game.
You come back.
Which
I'd
means
even
that
buy one of, a bit of this and a
we
bit of
have
that.
exactly enough money, 1,499 gold, to buy this necklace of deft hands to buff pickpocketing. So there we go. We are now officially broke. But I think this is an investment that will pay back. Okay, I realized immediately after buying that amulet, I didn't have any gold left to train. So I just beat up a couple of people around town, advanced the Companions quest a little to get a couple hundred gold, and then scrape together a little bit more just from nicking it from dressers and whatnot. So I think now we are in business. Oh, also, to get the initial pickpocketing from 15 to 20, I think the good place for that is just the barracks. There's 2 barracks in town here, and there's always guards sleeping in there pretty much any time of the day. So that was my approach there. And now...
Got a lot of steel to shape. It's an honorable craft. I'll show you what I can.
There we go. Now this is where it gets tricky because I'm gaining so many levels in pickpocket for this that it might gain me 2 character levels before I can finish training here. So we need to be careful of that. Okay, I think I want some health here. Perfect. So we didn't gain enough to hit all the way to 10, which is perfect. We don't want to get to 10. Not yet. And then we're just going to keep going here. I'm going to keep buying smithing and pickpocketing back and see how long we can keep doing that. Okay, quick addendum. I'm actually going to put a pause on smithing and go for some one-hand and block instead because I'm trying to gain as little XP as possible, and the lower the level, the less XP. So I'm going to try and bring up the lower ones first and go from there. Okay, so we are almost out of gas now. I got all the way up to level 17, just shy of 18. I've got smithing to 30. I even took block to 25, two-handed to 25, one-handed to 25, and there was some Khajiit outside, so I actually managed to train up some sneak as well. I think I picked up 5 levels in sneak, give or take. So trying to spread it around a little to keep the gain as low as possible. But now I'm finally to the point where I didn't level up going through the cycle. And of course, my pickpocketing is 74 from doing this. I have 0 trouble getting my money back at this point. So yeah, that's the loop. That's how you use pickpocket. And I haven't even needed to put any points into here, at least not yet. But now we are back in Dragonreach in the Jarl's quarters to see if we can get to 18 and push this cycle a little further. And the reason we're here...
Look tired, friend. The Bannered Mare has beds for rent.
It's because he has a really nice sword under this Master Lock. And since lockpicking doesn't really care about difficulty, we can pick that lock and get that sword. That'll be a very nice sword for us for a little bit here. So that's the plan. And I fully expect that's going to level us up in the process. Okay, we're all done with our pickpocketing shenanigans, at least for now. We took smithing all the way up to 51, which is... And then I did a little smithing myself that got to 52. But 51 is the point where the training costs jump, and I simply don't even have enough money to do that. So that seemed like a good place to stop. I do have a little bit of wiggle room here before I hit 23, so we can work with that. Also got one-handed up to 28 here. And obviously, yeah, pickpocketing is now 93. Far and away our highest skill. Also, did a little bit more lockpicking in Whiterun and nicked a bow from Ayla of the Companions. She had an elven bow under lock, so upgraded not just my sword but also my bow. But we have our eyes on a much better bow, and that is where we are heading currently. It's going to be quite a trek though. So we'll see how we do. I have an approximate location here that I pinned. And it would actually be easier probably if I took a cart to Markarth. That's a lot of territory. This is mostly open plains though. So I'm not too worried about that part. I think we can just go on foot here. obviously being character level 22, it's going to be a little bit of a power curve, right? So I'm expecting higher level enemies, like this saber cat here. Maybe we can just slip on by. Nope. Alright, gotta keep our head on a swivel out here. Yeah, so there is a road here that we can look into, so I think the plan is we just follow the road.
I'm staying out of this.
I did investigate mods that would hide headgear, hide helmets, and really didn't find anything to my liking. There was one that I found, but it seemed like it had a whole lot of requirements, and I just didn't want to mess with it. But we're going to have a solution for our headgear at some point here anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about it and just sort of manually take it on and off as needed. Okay, and hopefully this is a good spot to cross the river. Well, this is definitely not the intended path, but it's safe. It's real safe. No enemies up here. And we are getting closer. We are after a Dwemer ruin, so it may actually be the one sort of due west. I may have missed the marker just a bit. I think it may be. Here we go. Yeah. This is what we're after. We're not after that saber cat, though. It was actually a pretty smooth trip. There were a couple saber cats and like a wolf. But we managed to stay clear of anything too nasty.
Turn back. Please, turn back before it's too late. Still doing here? Let me guess. You're here for the treasure, aren't you?
Of course.
Just like all the others.
Who are you?
The name's Katria. Was an adventurer. Raided ruins like this for nigh on 20 years. I was on the trail of something big. It led me here, and I didn't make it.
Well, what are you looking for?
It's a long story. You ever heard of Ethereum? A rare mineral used by the dwarves. Supposedly, they had to build a special forge, the Ethereum Forge, to even work with it. The items it made were so powerful, they went to war over it, and the forge was lost. Or so the story goes.
And that story led you here.
I spent my life tracking down that legend, until my damn apprentice stole everything from me.
What a dick.
And published it all under his own name. And now, Now I can't rest. Not until I have proof. Something to show the world what I discovered, what I did. That my life mattered. But it's hopeless. I died here, just like all the others. Turn back. Turn back before you become the next victim.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Sure, that's what they all say. I'm not going to talk you out of it, am I? I know. I was just like you once. Well, if you want to reach the summit, you're going to need some help. You want a hand?
Sure thing.
All right, lead on then.
Lost to the ages.
This is where it was quite the fall. Go on my journey, would you? You're going to need it.
Katria's journal. This is the most pertinent part. She has locations of Skyrim mapped out here, which, spoiler, we're going to have to visit those at some point. Probably sooner than later, but we'll see.
Really? You had to take the armor? Come on, leave me with a little dignity.
It's good armor.
Watch yourself. This place has
shit.
been pretty unstable.
She's just going to kill him? Alright. Didn't realize she'd actually be able to interact with enemies. That works for me.
Dwarves call them kinetic resonators. Don't see them very often. At least not in the clans in Skyrim. Just hit them, and they'll do whatever it is they're supposed to do. Falmer. Damn things are like flies, no matter how many you kill. Here we go.
Yeah, there's still one more. There's one. Oh, some of those bugs. Oh, it's a bug. Yeah, good job, team.
Here's where I fell. Feels like ages ago. Hey, there's my bow. There, out on the log. I wonder what happened to it.
There we are. Zephyr.
Take good care of it for me.
Yeah, and here we are. The Zephyr bow fires 30% faster than a standard bow, so it has increased draw speed. That's why I definitely wanted it. The Elven bow is technically better, but I feel like the speed, the draw speed is worth it here. So we're going to try and get this puppy upgraded and run with this for quite a while probably. We'll see.
Here we go. Hold up. We need to talk. You know what this is? It's a lock. A tonal lock. Simple and very, very deadly. See the resonators up there? Strike them in the right order, and the door should open. Get it wrong and, well, you've seen what happened when I tried it.
Any advice?
Well, you can pick up where I left off. My notes should still be in my journal, if you can read it. Beyond that, well, maybe one of our predecessors still has a clue.
Yeah, so as we can see in her journal, the clue is that the first two in the sequence out of 5 are bottom left, bottom right. And almost certainly the middle is the final one, right? You'd put the final one in the middle, so I'm gonna guess.
Keep going. Almost. Got it.
Ethereum shard.
So, it is real. Let me see it. Look, on the edge here. This has been cut, precisely cut. If you had another piece about the same size, it would snap right in. I saw a drawing of this once. This shard, it's part of a key. A key made of pure Ethereum. The key to the forge.
So, what now?
We have to find the other pieces, of course. There should be, 3 more. 1 for each of the 4 cities that worked on the forge. I had a map in my journal. That's where we should start.
Then what?
We still have to find the forge itself. I had a lead on that too. There's so much to do. I'm going to head out and start tracking things down. We'll meet again. I'm sure of it. For the first time in a long while, I think we may actually be able to do this. And I owe it all to you. Thank you.
I think that's going to be a wrap. Daenerys is going to loot this place empty, and then we'll head back to civilization, probably Whiterun, which is almost certainly where we're going to pick up next time. Until then, thank you all so much. Please like and subscribe. This has been Honestman with Daenerys Targaryen, and we will see you next time with more Skyrim.